We jump right into the start of this video. This is some of the footage that we did lose, so it's one of the parts that we have rescued. It's just showing that we're going to mount the Y-axis rods, feeding them through the holes in the back of the rear supports, and then continue to put on the X-axis carriage and rods. Okay, so then we grab the two X-axis carriages, the one with the motor on and the one with the pulley wheel on, idle wheel on. And what we're going to do is make sure that that rod fits in snug. If it's a little bit loose, depending on how your printer printed it, it's not a problem. We've still got the grub screw, which is going to tighten it down. But just to tighten it up a little bit, just going to put a run of tape around, probably about 2 goes round, should just be enough just to tighten it up. Because we're going to also put the bearings onto here, before we tape up the other end, just going to push the bearing on, push the other bearing on, so that slides up nice. Another bit of tape on the other end. Okay, so making sure that the short part is upright. Push that in, get a nice little clicking on there. And same with the opposite side, make sure the short piece is upright. Okay, and then we put that and connect it to the Y-axis, making sure that the motor is on the downward and over to the left hand side. Okay, so what we need to do now is position the X-axis all the way over to the back of the machine, tighten up the 2 grub screws underneath either side. Once them are tight, move it to the front of the machine and check that we get a nice smooth run all the way. Now the trick is to hold it dead centre there. This is where the centre of the belt is going to be assembled, and just make sure that the right force is being applied dead centre to ensure that you get a nice smooth run. If you're not getting the smooth run, something's just slightly out of square, just undo the grub screws again and just position it right the way back, check that everything is touching at the back, move it backwards and forwards a few times just to get the rods to settle, and then have another go at tightening up the grub screws. Once you've got those grub screws nice and tight into place, tighten up the grub screws holding these rods in, which are the Y-axis rods, and that also all adds to the overall stability of the machine once it's all assembled. So I'm just going to quickly go around now and just make sure everything's nice and tight. Okay, that should be everything nice and tight now. The rods don't rotate. X-axis runs nice and smooth. And we have the bearings ready for the printhead itself. Next stage is to start assembling the rear Y-axis motor housing along with the rod with the connectors on for the belts, connecting to the X-axis onto the bearings at the front.